Hello, grade 5, and we meet again with e-learning, okay? So, we will review our last lesson before we go into today's lesson, okay? So, let's take a look at it. Yes, the last lesson was about pollination, okay? So we will go over some key points of pollination. Okay, so the first key point is pollination brings pollen from the stamen to the stigma of a flower of the same kind. Okay, so remember, pollination is when pollen moves, okay, into the stigma of a flower, and that can be done by wind or insect. Okay, so next key point, flowers pollinated by insects have brightly colored scented petals and nectar. Okay, so flowers pollinated by insects, they are more beautiful, smells good, and more colorful. So, next key point. Flowers pollinated by wind have little color, no petals or scent, and lots of pollen. So, flowers that are pollinated by wind, they're not as beautiful as flowers that are pollinated by insects. Okay, so they don't really have bright colors and doesn't have a good smell, right? Okay, so next key point. Fertilization happens when the pollen and eggs join inside the ovary. Okay, so when the pollen makes its way down to the ovary and meet the egg, so the pollen and the egg meet, we call that fertilization. Okay, so last key point. The fertilized eggs become the seeds, and the ovary becomes the fruit. So this is where the magic happens. Okay, so the fertilized eggs, it becomes the seeds. Okay, and then the ovary becomes the fruit. Okay, so that's where the magic happens. All right. So now we will go into today's lesson. So today's lesson will be about light travels from a source. Okay. So before we begin today's lesson, I would like to go over some vocabulary. So as you can see on the board, the vocabularies are light source. Okay, so what is a light source, right? So a light source is where light comes from. Okay, so a light source is something that produces light, that emits light, that makes light. So where light comes from. Okay, so next is an object. An object is a thing that can be seen and touched. So an object is anything. So a chair, okay, marker, okay. We call those objects because we can see it and we can touch it. So it's things, it's stuff. The beam, okay, as you can see in the picture, that's the beam of the light. We call that a light beam, right? So that's the beam right there. That's the torch. Okay, so next, reflect. Again, the torch, mirror. Okay, so it reflects the light somewhere else. You can see it bounces somewhere else. So next is travel. Okay, to go from place to place, travel. Okay. Next is direction. So the way where someone or something is traveling. So in our lesson, the something would be the light, would be the beam. Okay, so the direction where the beam is going. So that's the direction right there. See, it's going upwards. Okay, and the direction of this beam is going straight forward. Okay, the direction where the beam is going. Okay, so now I would like to give you a task to do. Okay, so you can get busy. All right, so we will call this task 1. So, task 1. Okay, we'll be on page 54 and page 55 of your science book. Okay, so page 54. Okay, we will look at page 54. The exercise there, you will identify the light sources. Okay, so here's a picture of page 54. So you will do this, identify the light sources in the picture. Okay, so you will identify, which means in this lesson, it means to locate, to find. So you will find the light sources in the picture. Okay, so that's identify, to find, to locate. Okay, so next is page 55. Page 55, 3 questions. Read the questions and answer them. Okay, so answer the questions in your science notebook. So, when you are finished with page 54 and page 55, you can take a picture of it and upload it to our group, and I will correct it there, and we will review the lessons there also. Okay, so thank you for watching the video, and see you in the next video. Hello grade 5, so this is video 2 for today's lesson on light travels from a source. So now we are gonna do more exercises so we can have a better understanding of this lesson. Okay, so our lesson, light travels from a source. Okay, so task 2, okay, page 33, activity book, and page 37 and 38, skill builder. So we will go over page 33, activity book really fast, briefly. Okay, so this is page 33, activity book. So light travels from a source, right? In this exercise, you will practice what you have learned about light traveling from a source and how we see things. So Seymour is looking at some trees. That's Seymour, he's looking at some trees. Okay, identify the source of light. So again, identify the source of light. Identify means to find, okay, or to locate the source of light. Okay, so B, draw lines with arrows to show how Seymour sees the tree. So you will draw lines with arrows, okay, to show how he sees the trees. Okay, so number 2, Sophia is looking at a book. Again, find the source of light, identify the source of light, and draw lines with an arrow to show how Sophia sees the book. Okay, so just like the top one. Okay, so our next exercise is 37-38, skill builder. So So let me find it. Okay. Here we go. Describe how we see things. Okay, Mrs. Leon is doing some sewing. She needs to see the needle she is trying to thread. Okay, you can see her sewing. Okay. Number one, name the light source Miss Leon is using. So write the name of the light source. Okay, what object is that? Okay. So page 38. Same thing, it's related to page 37, it's from page 37. So name the object Ms. Leon is trying to see. Okay, number 3, 4, okay, so it's self-explanatory. All right. So when you are finished with this, you can take a picture of your work and post it to our group. Also, if you have any questions with this lesson, please ask in our group, and we will assist you there. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for our next video. Bye bye. Hello, grade 5, and welcome to our last video, okay, of the day. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so this lesson, right? Light travels from a source. So remember, light has to come from somewhere, right? Okay, so that somewhere is the source. Okay, so light travels from a source, it comes from a source. Okay, so for example, the sun is what we call a light source. So the sun travels from the source, okay, the sun. All right, another example, a torch, okay, when you turn the torch on, light will travel from it. Okay, light will travel from the torch, so it will travel from it. Okay, so, and how do we see things? Okay, so this is how we see things. Okay, so we see things because light, okay, it travels to the object. Okay, then it bounces off the object. Okay, it reflects off the object and back into our eyes. So that's how we are able to see. Okay, so in the daytime, if we are outside, the sun's light bounces, reflects off the object, and it goes back into your eye. Okay, so that's how you are able to see everything around you in the daytime. Now, nighttime is different because the sun isn't there. We are using light bulbs, torches, and candles or street lights. And again, just remember, light reflects off object and travels back to our eye, and that's how we are able to see. Okay, so that's about it for a light source. And oh yeah, let me give you some example of a light source. Okay, so like a screen. Okay, so like a laptop screen or a phone screen, the sun. Okay, a torch, a candle. Okay, so those are some examples of a light source. Okay, so now we will wrap this up with homework. We will finish this with homework. Okay, so homework will be page 35, page 36, challenge book. Okay, so it will look like this. Page 35, challenge book. And page 36 will look like this. Okay, so for your homework. Finish it anytime before our next lesson. Okay, so thank you for joining today's class and see you next week. Bye-bye.